shoot, that stuff's set in stone. I got blue and white, and that's it. And then I pull out a tie and match the socks and watch on my way. I decide the rule, and then that's all I have to follow. Then there's no other decisions that need to be made as the week progresses. Welcome to DFW Grit. I'm Dr. James Taylor, and I'm your host, and this is more than just a podcast. We dive into the stories of the movers, the shakers, the small business owners, the entrepreneurs, right here in the DFW Metroplex. This is your home for authentic, real stories that prove what happens when you don't back down. Let's get to work. Hey, what's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of DFW Grit. As always, I'm your host, Dr. James Taylor, and today we're playing by the rules. We're playing by the rules. We're doing what? That sounds stupid. No, no. So we're playing by the rules that we made up. There we go. Is that a little bit more palatable? Well, as long as we get to make the rules, then fine. So I was thinking, man, it feels like a lot of the episodes lately have been on sharing the same thread, if you will. So I want to change it up a little bit. I want to talk a little bit about something a little bit different. And it's basically like, I don't know about you, but me personally, I like to make sure everything is done as correct and as efficient as possible. And I'll tell you right now, I've noticed on more than one occasion, focusing on my own efficiency is incredibly inefficient. So I am a work in progress, aren't we all? But what I want to do here, I want to just go over some things that I think I'll say that I overthink, and ipso facto, men overthink. Because I am man. I am one of us, if we will. So most of what you're overthinking isn't a discipline problem. It is literally it's just a lack of rules. So if you can decide something once and turn it into a rule, you get to stop spending all your brain energy on it. So I want to go over a couple things here that I've just kind of turned into rules. Basically, just fewer decisions, and they've been eliciting better outcomes. So it's like I said at the beginning. There's this efficiency trap, right? I want to get from A to B, and I want all those little subsets in there to be the perfect number of steps, the perfect hand motion, the perfect schedule, task, automation to get me there. And in trying to figure out what that is and what that looks like, that process, shit, I'm wasting time. I am by design inefficient. And that doesn't make me feel good. Right? So, I catch myself doing the same kind of stuff, and it doesn't make any sense to me to burn 10 minutes thinking about how to do a 5-minute task. So, how do we avoid that, right? Where'd it go? See, this in and of itself, this is an efficiency thing here. So what this is and what this is not, right? This is not a productivity episode per se. This is not me telling you to care less in any way, shape, or form. This is about the stuff that we hand real weight to, right? I mean, if we're spending brain power, time, and energy thinking on it, it's got to matter to us in some way, shape, or form. So I'm not decrying that. I'm not ignoring that. But what I want to do is I want to figure out a better way so the process doesn't suck the life out of us, because the stuff that we have to actually give weight to matters, right? But there's stuff that we certainly spend time and energy on that those things didn't ask for it per se. One of the easiest parts of my day is how I look. It's quite simple. If I'm in the office and I'm treating patients, if you've been here before, I've got blue shirts and I've got white shirts. The end. And that's my uniform. I've got 4 blue shirts, I've got 4 white shirts. I've got two pair of black pants, a pair of darker gray pants, and a couple times a month I'll throw in a pair of blue pants, and that's really it. So my wardrobe is systematized. It's a rule, right? And I alternate my shirts. If I look at the hamper, and if there is a blue shirt in there, cool. That means today I'm wearing white, and vice versa. That makes it a whole lot easier in the morning. And I know my tie always matches my socks and my watch. Boom. So I pick out one of those things. If I pick out blue socks, cool. Blue tie, blue watch. Purple, same thing all the way through. Because it systematizes it. I've built a uniform. And the same thing works when I show up on days like this. I've got a selection of t-shirts that I like. And then when I leave the house, I always wear a watch and a bracelet to balance it out, and either a ball cap or my hair's done. I got a belt on and I got clean shoes. So whatever goes on in between those things, we're good to go. Because the whole outcome of my wardrobe is really just to look put together. As long as I look put together, I'm set and I'm good to go. And I feel like just me personally, the outfits that I decide to leave the house in, I've curated, if you will, things that I'm never ashamed to wear. They will look good in any surrounding, in any company. My whites are white, my colors pop, and like I said, and I've got my little accoutrement, if you will, to make me feel put together, because that's the overarching goal. Just with whatever it is I've got going on, and my day to day, my Monday through Friday. I mean, shoot, that stuff's set in stone. I got blue and white, and that's it. And then I pull out a tie and match the socks and watch on my way. I decide the rule, and then that's all I have to follow. Then there's no other decisions that need to be made as the week progresses. Now, next thing, new isn't better. This is a harder rule for me to follow. This came up the other day during our team meeting. So, school just started. Everyone's schedule changed, and this happens at the same time every year. And I know exactly how to handle it because I've done this for over a decade. But I also know full well, we talk about the dad stuff that I've got going on outside of this. Not the me being a father, but the group of men who are actually showing up for one another. I told the girls the other day, hey, the stuff that we've been doing, that's what we're going to keep doing. And they're like, okay, that makes sense. Why are we wasting time talking about this, Dr. Taylor? And I said, because what I want you to do, this is the rule, is if you catch me doing something new, call me out on it. I don't get to do new things until January 1, because we are running into the fourth quarter of the year. And this is when people start sprinting, specifically, even in my life, because we have Calvin starts school. Well, Calvin and Frankie. Calvin and Frankie start school. And then we got Calvin's birthday. Then we got Halloween. We got mine and Tamika's birthday. Thanksgiving, all the holiday stuff that goes around it. And then Christmas. And then it's for all intents and purposes, here on August 16th, it's actually 2027. So the last thing that schedule needs is me to look at shiny things. Ooh, what's that? Oh, I want to focus on. No, I don't get to focus on that. That is the rule. And I've given myself guardrails in that I've told the people that support me, don't let me do new stuff. Period. The end. New things get to wait until January. Because if they catch me trying to do something new, something fancy, that's obviously taking away from over a decade of research of what I know already works here in the office. Now, that's not me playing it safe. That's just putting priorities in their proper order, because we already know it works. So let's just do those things. Now, with both of those, with the uniform, um with the rule, I guess, the no shiny objects rule, that's exactly what both of those are. They're just rules. Because if we have rules to follow, we don't have decisions to make. If we don't have decisions to make, then we don't have to wonder if we go left or if we go right, if we choose A or if we choose B. That saves time. That saves mental bandwidth. That saves stress and energy because the rule is the rule. So what are things in your life that you can literally just turn into rules instead and save yourself this mental bandwidth? Hell, in some cases, maybe even this mental anguish. Basically, like this is me saving the opportunity to have to make a decision twice. Is there something where you can just make a single decision and then never have to make that decision again because it has just become the rule? Because that's not you failing at anything. That's you just closing the loop. And then this thing just becomes a cycle. And ideally, not a vicious cycle. Because, like I said, this is the same move both times. I found something that I had to keep redeciding. And instead, I just said, you know what? I'm going to decide this once. And that's just the way it's going to be. Cool. Now that's something I don't have to decide for all intents and purposes ever again. Because you don't need more discipline, my friends. You just need fewer decisions. Fewer decisions you have to make, the smoother everything goes. So, with that being said, I want to give you 3 things to do this week. Number 1, pick a small decision that you've noticed you have to continually remake. Write down a rule about it and then just follow that rule. Sweet, there's one thing off your plate right there. Number 2, tell one person in your life, in your corner, tell them your new rule, right? And then call you out on it when you deviate. Because we do need guardrails. And generally speaking, can't trust ourselves. That's why we have a close circle of friends. That's why we have coaches and mentors to people to keep us on the path. That's why we have a support staff. Got to have someone hold you accountable because we're real terrible at holding ourselves accountable. Number 3, name one thing in your business or your life that you're going to leave alone until a specific date. And again, go back to rule 2. Tell that person that. Have them hold you to it. You'll get back to it. It's just not now. It's not a priority now. It's not an opportunity for you to distract yourself from your actual priorities now. You'll get back to it, just not now. So you don't need more discipline. You just need fewer decisions. Build the rule once, and then you don't have to decide on that thing ever again. So, like I said, the last few episodes have all been going along kind of the same line of dialogue and talk. I wanted to give you a little something different today. And I think this really falls right underneath the banner of everything we're trying to do here. And like I said, that's you will learn more here by accident than elsewhere by design. Hope you learned a couple good rules today. As always, my friends, like, share, and follow. And I will see you on the next episode of DFW Grit. We'll see y'all later.